If a family member of yours contacts you saying they're in trouble and need money, there's a chance it could be a scam. News 19's Kelly Smith sat down with a representative from the Better Business Bureau of North Alabama who explained how to tell these con artists from a loved one.
Emergency scams, sometimes called grandparent scams, prey on the willingness of an unsuspecting, worried individual to help friends and family in need. And Lindsay George with the Better Business Bureau of North Alabama is joining me to explain more about the scam. So Lindsay, first, let's start off by talking about the initial contact. How are these kinds of scammers getting in touch with their victims?
So they're contacting you by phone call, text message, email, or social media message, claiming that one of your loved ones or a family friend may possibly be in a dire situation.
Okay, and that's what my next question was going to be, is what are they telling these victims?
So when they're calling you, they're saying that the individual may be in an emergency medical situation, they may have been in an accident overseas, or they may have been arrested. Sometimes they may even say that the person is being held hostage and that they need ransom money in order to let them free.
And that sounds so far-fetched in some cases, but these can actually be really convincing. How are the scammers able to do that?
Well, scammers, they're doing their research. They're going online, whether it's your social media or just a general internet search about the individual. They may incorporate their nicknames or even their location and travel plans in their story to convince you that the actual con is happening and that is a real situation.
Wow. And ultimately, what is it that these scammers want people to do?
They want your money. They'll ask you to wire money. If they can't get you to wire money, they'll ask you to purchase gift cards and send them pictures of the gift cards along with the PIN number. They will also, in some cases, ask you to send cash, whether it's in a magazine, they ask you to place the bills in between the magazine pages or in a book and have you mail that money to them and ask that you provide them with the tracking number.
That is fascinating.
Yes, it is.
And so weird.
It is.
Just an odd request, I would think. So there are some tips to try to spot these scammers. One of the first recommendations that the BBB gives is that people just don't react immediately. Why is that so important?
Yes, you definitely want to try your best to stay calm in a situation, no matter how dramatic the story may be. If you have the opportunity to call your loved one directly using their number that's actually in your phone and not the one on the caller ID, to see if they are indeed in distress. You can also make sure you tell someone that this is actually happening to help you understand what is going on. That way you won't fall victim to this scam.
Yeah, and there is another tip that can help people with this, and it kind of goes back to why these are so convincing, and that's to know what your family is sharing online.
Yes, although you may not have control over what your family members may share online, but you do want to familiarize yourself with things such as how they're showing how you're related, whether they're traveling out of town, and different things that may seem personal, but the scammers are using that to convince you that the situation is real.
And the last tip was, do not wire any money if there's any doubt about the call.
Yes, that's correct. Wiring money is just like sending cash. Once it's gone, it's gone. And if you do find yourself in a situation where you've given your money and you realize it is a fraud, you want to contact your local police department immediately.
All right. Well, Lindsay, thank you so much for joining me to talk about this. And if you have any consumer questions or concerns, you can contact the Better Business Bureau of North Alabama. The Taking Action hotline number is 256-850-0719.